And please join me in welcoming the 57th governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Welcome to Grand Street, everybody. My name is Robert Cordero. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Grand Street. It is my distinct honor to welcome you to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, historic neighborhood, and we're so happy to host Governor Hochul today. Thank you for joining us at what we call the Rose Gruening Community Center, or the Rose Center. It's named in honor of our founder, Rose Gruening. Rose was way ahead of her time. In 1907, 9 years before Grand Street was founded, she started a camp upstate called Camp Mudna to give children from the city fresh air, good meals, medical care, and a safe place to grow while their parents could work. And she did all of this before women even had the right to vote. Clearly, Rose wasn't waiting for anybody's permission. For 110 years, we've carried her vision forward. Today, Grand Street Settlement proudly serves over 18,000 families across the Lower East Side, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. This summer, more than 2,000 young people, including many that the governor just met today, are enrolled in our summer camps across 21 sites where we provide healthy daily meals. Governor Hochul's support for summer EBT is helping ensure that children and families have greater access to healthy food and meals throughout the summer. But a lot has changed since Camp Mudna. Rose's campers even had boxing back then. That was sanctioned. We haven't brought that one back yet. What children and families need to thrive has really evolved. Today, that includes technology and literacy, and Governor Hochul saw a glimpse of that this morning. That's why we are so grateful, Governor, for the state's investment, led by you, in our new Grand Bridge Tech Center through the New York BRICS Initiative, through DASNY. Located at Essex Crossing, 7 minutes away from here, across Delancey, as we say in the Lower East Side, Grand Bridge Tech Center will be a state-of-the-art, multi-generational technology center. It will also be home to after-school programs and summer camps, just like here, with healthy food, hydroponic technology, and cooking classes as all part of an experience for the community. In many ways, Grand Bridge carries Rose's vision into the future. The tools have changed, but the goal has not, giving children and families what they need to adapt, grow, and thrive in New York City. Governor, it's also wonderful to see you again after you so graciously took a photo with my kids at the Dominican Day Parade on Sunday. Thank you. My daughter hunted her down and found her, and she did at the Puerto Rican Parade too, every year. Right. I promise I won't ask for another one today, at least not until after the program. Most importantly, we are grateful for your partnership and your leadership, your commitment to making New York more affordable for all New Yorkers, your leadership on universal child care. We have early childhood classes, 6 classrooms that are opening up in the fall here. And addressing food insecurity, along with the funding and policies that support working families, directly strengthens the communities that we serve in every single day. Thank you, Governor, to the Governor's fantastic team, one of our favorite teams to work with, Jonah, Alan, Kathleen, Benjamin, Jordan, Sam, Fidel, and all the rest of you for allowing us to host you today. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Robert, thank you for being an individual who's carrying on the legacy of Rose. And all of you, your incredible team here, knows who we're fighting for and what we have to do to give people who've had a tougher time in life, especially their children, the knowledge that they're going to be okay. They come to a safe place like this. And I'm really proud that we could invest in the technology center to execute a continuation of the vision to give young people all the advantages that are possible to them, and that is making sure they're ready for the jobs of tomorrow as technology is rapidly changing. So let's give another round of applause to everyone at the Rose Center. Robert, you'll be hearing from a great partner of ours in Washington in a moment. That is our Congressman Dan Goldman, who's been an incredible champion for his beloved neighborhood here, and I thank him for many years of service and look forward to continuing to work with you many years to come. I also want to thank Rachel Sebelia, the director of No Kid Hungry in New York. We'll be hearing from Rachel just about what nutrition programs mean and how they can lift families up and just finally give them some breathing room with all the stresses they have on how everything is so much more expensive. So Rachel, thank you for all you do. Manuela Ceballos, a grandma of a 4-year-old. Where is she? Or he is? I can't see who's back there. How are you? I heard you give hugs. Do you know how to give hugs? Yeah. Yeah, I heard you're a good hugger, sweetheart. As the grandmother of a 4-year-old, that made my day. One more? Okay, we'll do it again. Okay, I gotta go. I'm just gonna play with her. You know, they're not judgmental, unconditional love. That's how we love our children, and they love us right back. And so thank you for bringing that special gift for me. Also, a real leader in championing for families that need help is our Commissioner, Barbara Gwynn. I want to thank her for all she does. And let me give a quick shout out to the elected officials who've joined us. Government doesn't run by just a governor or mayor. They run with a team. And all the elected officials who are here, I thank them for everything they do and will continue to do for many years to come. Our Councilmember Harvey Epstein is here. Senator Roxanne Prasad has joined us, the chair of the Committee on Social Services. Assembly Member Khalil Anderson, the chair of Subcommittee on Nutrition and Food and Policy, Farm Policy. New York State Assembly Member Maritza Davila, the Assembly Committee on Social Services. Assembly Member Jessica Gonzalez Rojas, the chair of Committee on Women's Issues. Assembly Member Chantel Jackson, thank you for joining us. I think we've got that covered. I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk about why we're here today. I just had a great time seeing young people working on their technology project, using all kinds of shapes to tell a story, and just having a chance to sit down with them and talk to them and just have an idea of why this is such a refuge for many of them. This is a place that looks out for them and cares about them, and literally an alternative to being on the streets, especially in summertime, which we know is not a good place for kids to have that much free time. As a parent, I know that. So they're involved, and I just know how special summers can be. You know, building memories now, making friends that'll be there through the school year and beyond. So this is a very special place. And I think about school right around the corner. I'm sure they don't, but as a parent, you're kind of conditioned to say it's almost school time. What that also means is that the kids who sometimes are food insecure in the summertime, where their parents are, really have a chance to rely on food that we provide at the state level. I would say one of the initiatives that I'm most proud of, that I worked on with our state legislature, was promising every single child in the state of New York that you will no longer have to go hungry. You won't have to skip a meal because of the stigma associated with having to get into the different line or let people know that you're that kid whose parents couldn't afford to feed them and you're now getting subsidized meals. That era is over in the state of New York. We just finished our second year of completely free meals, breakfast and lunch, so no more tummies are growling in school, and the kids are paying attention. And the teachers are seeing the results as well. So we've done that. So the kids are taken care of during the school year. We made sure of that. But we also have to make sure that when school is out, that the kids don't go hungry. And so they still need their free meals. And ensuring New York's children have a chance to grow up healthy and strong is really just a top priority as a mom. And we see what's happened. And you'll hear about this from some of our advocates. Groceries that we thought could not possibly get more expensive, got more expensive. And it's everything that's driving it up. And many of these are unnecessary. What's happened with tariffs, driving up the cost of the groceries, making it more expensive for schools and everyone, but especially for struggling families. Or the cost of gasoline going up. What does that mean? The distribution systems are more expensive, getting the food from the farms and into the stores, and from the stores into the homes. It's all costing so much more. And parents do face that terrible choice of, can I provide this many meals? I talked to one mom with a 13-year-old. She says, he eats me out of house and home every day. I mean, I really don't know how to ration a growing 13-year-old boy having his meals cut back because his mom can't afford to do this. That is heartbreaking to me. And it's a terrible, terrible decision that they have to make. So this year, I want to say this loud and clear. We have prioritized these individuals and their children, making sure that no child goes hungry in the summertime, waiting for that meal to start at the end of a day, but maybe they didn't have breakfast or lunch. Didn't have breakfast or lunch. That is far too common in our state these days. So we distribute over $200 million in extra food assistance for children in the summertime. And I'm so proud of that through the summer EBT program. That's an extra $120 of an extra food assistance that otherwise would not be there. I want to thank, and Dan will talk about this at the federal level, the role they play, but we distribute this, and it reaches 2 million children. 2 million children will not have to deal with the specter of being hungry in the summertime because their parents could not afford to feed them. And it'll help offset the cost of healthy meals, make it a little bit easier for families to just have a little less stress in their lives. They're talking about how to pay for the utility bills, and the rent keeps going up, and insurance is going up, and it's getting really hard. So I'm really proud that we can come here to showcase a program that the children who come here benefit from. And I want to make sure that families all over know that this is available. Many children have already received their benefit already, but I want people to know it expires after 122 days after being issued. So I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't gotten it, there's still time available because it does have a long lifespan. But also remind caretakers of New York City's free meals program right now is open. So breakfast and lunch, if you're under the age of 18, at the swimming pools and the parks and the libraries. And of course, you'll see food again, once again, when school starts. And so I also want to say this. This is a fight for working families. This is a part of our fight. We let families know who we're fighting for every single day. This is just one more exclamation point. But I think about the families that we help with the state legislators. $1,000 going to families, a tax credit for every family with a child under the age of 4. $1,800 baby bonus for struggling families to help with the cost of a newborn. Children over the age of 4, over upwards of $500 per child every single year. That's money back in people's pockets. That's going to help pay for the backpacks in a few weeks. If you haven't gotten them already, they're selling them. They've been selling them since 4th of July. I saw them in the store the other day. Well, you know, the notepads, the books, the little lunchbox. All this is so expensive. And this is really, truly benefiting millions of dollars statewide as we put money directly back into parents' pockets. So let's make it easier on families. That's what we're all about. It's just trying to make life a little bit easier. And one more way we're going to do that, we talked about child care. We are moving full steam ahead on our promise from the state to have universal child care for every child in the state of New York. Working with the mayor of New York, working with mayors all over the state, elected officials are so excited about this because this is a personal fight for me. You've heard me tell the story of having to give up a job that I loved, literally cutting our income in half because I could not find childcare that I could afford. At the same time, my husband left a job that he liked, worked for the government, so he took a lot of pay cuts. And I was that mom clutching the coupons, holding them together until I could get to the big box store and buy as many diapers and formula as I possibly could fit and carry back to the house. And so I know what it's like, and it hasn't gotten easier. That was a long time ago, and it's not gotten easier for families today. So this is personal to me. I don't want this generation of young people to struggle in a way that is not their fault. They didn't foresee any of this, and they just want the same benefits that other generations have had and be able to manage their expenses, raise a family, and really enjoy life here in New York State. So I've made New York families my fight. We've invested so much money in all these programs, but I also want to say, finally, we're not done. We're not done. We're going to continue investing in families and let them know that they have real champions in the governor's office, in our state assembly, our state senate, as well as in city council and in Congress. Together, we can stand up and speak out on behalf of the families who feel they do not have voices, to let them know that we are putting direct money back into their pockets, and it's all about investing in families, because the beneficiaries are those little innocent children, the ones that look to us for care and love and food. And that's what we're delivering on this summer in particular. So thank you very much for joining us as we focus on this important program. Let me bring up another champion for New York families, Congressman Dan Goldman.
Thank you very much, Governor. I want to first start off just by acknowledging and thanking Robert Cordero and Grand Street Settlement. It has been a true pleasure for me to partner with Grand Street on so many different levels and so many different programs, because they seem to continue to have more and more programs that come out of the woodwork every week. But last week I was serving lunch to some of the older adults, and Robert, you have helped to shepherd not only one of the most incredible settlement houses in the city, but a true model for community-based organizations. And what the governor saw this morning with the kids, 2,000 kids in camps over the summer, when we know school's out and the parents don't have anything to do very often with their kids. But Grand Street and other organizations are filling that hole and making sure that kids are not only having some activities, but really constructive and meaningful activities. That the tech center he mentioned at Essex Crossing, I was proud to help support that, and I think it's notable and appropriate that we are here today. 2 years ago, the governor and Rachel and I were at the Girls Club not far from here, talking about the summer EBT program because of how important it is. In those last 2 years, we have seen budgets shrink, and we have seen costs skyrocket. And I just want to give a tremendous amount of credit to the governor, to all of the legislators who are here from Albany for finding this money in a budget that is increasingly constrained by Republicans in Washington. And SNAP is under attack and has been since Donald Trump got into office a year and a half ago. And the community has come together in ways that only this Lower East Side community can do. But with the support of the governor to make sure that our kids don't go hungry during the summer, $216 million for nearly 2 million kids is really remarkable. So thank you for your leadership on that. I'm working in Congress to fight for more SNAP. Summer EBT for sure is an essential part of it, and I have a bill that would take this program federal. Working on a bill, and this is where a lot of the advocates I know can be helpful over the next couple months if we ever do get a farm bill. But it would provide a very basic cybersecurity fix to our EBT cards. Our technology for EBT cards is stuck in the 20th century. All they need is a chip. We have a bipartisan bill. It almost got through the House. It's in the Senate. I urge everybody to reach out to their senators and advocate for this. We can get it passed this year. And it would make a huge difference because, as we know, EBT theft is well over $40 million now around the country. 20% of that is in New York. And the Republicans refuse to even allow the federal government to reimburse that. So we have the victims of EBT theft, people who are food insecure, who need to put food on the table for adorable children like Andalise, who can't get reimbursed. They're the ones who bear the brunt of this crime. It's absolutely unacceptable, and it's un-American. And I'm just proud to be a partner with the governor, with so many of our friends in the city council and the state legislature, as well as Grand Street Settlement, No Kid Hungry. Food insecurity is just something that should not exist in this country, simply put. And we are working at all levels of government to make sure that it is not, and especially New York City, as always, can be the model for the rest of the country. So thank you very much for having me to celebrate this, and we'll keep working at the federal level, as I know my friends in the City Council and Legislature, as well as the Governor and the Mayor, are working at the city level. Thank you.
Please welcome to the podium the Director for No Kid Hungry, Rachel Sabella.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Sabella, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as Director of No Kid Hungry New York. I'm thrilled to be here today to talk about a program that we consider to be a game changer for families. At No Kid Hungry, we talk a lot about hunger heroes, and we often use that term to describe the cafeteria staff members, the community-based organization staff, those on the ground feeding children each and every day. But today, I am here with my true hunger heroes in government. I want to thank Governor Hochul and the entire administration. No matter the issue, the entire team, you are leading the way to feed children and families. Congressman Goldman and your entire team, as you talked about theft, your office has been on the front lines with us, making sure families are getting those benefits. We're fighting for those solutions. My friends in the state legislature, we have been on this journey together. I want to thank Senator Prasad, Assemblywoman Davila, Assemblywoman Jackson, Assemblyman Anderson, I know your name, I don't know why I'm struggling here, and Assemblywoman Gonzalez Rojas, who have worked across the aisle to strengthen these programs. And Councilman Harvey Epstein, we know the council is on this. They have been fighting with us on summer EBT. We're thrilled to be here with you. I also want to give a special thank you to OTDA Commissioner Barbara Gwynn and her entire team. Each and every day, they are on the phone with families, they are talking to community organizations, they are making these programs run, and we thank you for your leadership and the dedication of your entire team. I also stand before you today, if the accent doesn't give me away, as a lifelong and very proud New Yorker. I want to thank again Governor Hochul for your leadership. You have brought together elected officials from across the aisle. That doesn't happen everywhere. That's so House students have access to free, nutritious breakfast and lunch each and every day. The governor's expansion of the Empire State Child Tax Credit also gives eligible families assistance with the everyday costs of raising children. You've heard other speakers say this, but at No Kid Hungry, we say summer can be the hungriest time of year. It's challenging for families already struggling to keep up with the shockingly high grocery bills that have become emblematic of the affordability crisis facing our country. We do a yearly poll of New Yorkers at No Kid Hungry, and this year's poll was devastating. It told us the pressures families face. 84% of New Yorkers said the cost of food is rising faster than their incomes. 3/4 of families reported having to choose between food and household essentials. Half of families across the state are taking on additional debt just to afford the rising cost of food. We had caretakers tell us they hide food at the beginning of the month to make sure there is something for children to eat at the end of the month. That's simply unacceptable. And it tells us the affordability crisis is real. That's why today is so important. That's why programs like Summer EBT, free school meals, and the Empire State Child Tax Credit are so important to New Yorkers. Summer EBT gives families $120 per eligible child to buy groceries while school is out. There's also schools, community organizations, parks and pools across the state giving out free meals. And in rural areas, they'll deliver it to people's homes. Now, we want to see that everywhere, but we are excited for what these can do. For so many families, Summer EBT can be the difference between keeping food on the table and empty bellies. And you heard us say this year alone, it is expected to support nearly 2 million children with more than $200 million in benefits. I want you to think about those benefits. Those are being spent at local grocery stores. They're going to green markets, supporting our state's farmers. This money is being reinvested in the economy. We are grateful to Governor Hochul, the administration, and our state elected officials for investing in these practical solutions. We didn't have to fight to have New York opt into this program. Unlike other states, it was on day one, we are doing this, we are feeding families. And they're continuing to build systems needed to reach families across the state. No Kid Hungry will continue advocating for programs, so you don't get rid of me anytime soon. We are gonna be doing this together to feed kids and families, and we're gonna make sure to help get the word out and make sure families are using this benefit and helping kids reach their potential. Together, we can make No Kid Hungry a reality in New York and across the country. And I am so lucky that I get to introduce our next speaker. You met her granddaughter, who I think may be a governor in the future based on how she greets people, but we are so delighted to welcome Manuela Sevillas to tell us a little bit about the program today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Manuela Ceballos, and I'm here with Annie Dalis. During the school year, children like Annie Dalis can come on breakfast and lunch at school. When school is out, it can be hard for families to know where every meal will come from when our budgets are very stretched. Summer EBT and free summer meals made that easier. They help me access meals and groceries so that Annie Dalis get the nutritious food she needs over the summer. So she returns to school and in the fall feeling healthy and focused. Family across New York, this support means less worry and more confidence that our children will have enough to eat during the summer, especially when the rising cost of life. I'm grateful to the government Hochul, No Kid Hungry, and everyone working made that easier for families across us access programs like this. We need leaders to take summertime hunger seriously and keep supporting summer EBT and free summer meals. New York children deserve reliable access to healthy food all year long. Thank you.